Hello, everybody from India. My name is Gregory Wilson from California. I look forward to joining Bharath, even though I can't pronounce his name correctly. So his new name is now Bob. Look forward to joining Bob on his new YouTube channel, Mallugic, and meeting up with you guys soon. Take care.
Wait. Eh?
And the secret is you're going to look at these because there's two. You're not going to look here. So it's a lesson in misdirection, right? You're looking at the two. You're not looking at the one.
Now I hate you. I used to love you. Now I hate you.
I don't think it fooled you. I think it might have surprised you because the moves are very natural. Look, I have a deck of cards. Like you said already, duh. Do you know the expression, duh?
Yeah.
Duh. And did you see it go? Which one? Yeah, did you see it go? You got to do the, did you see it go? Come on, Greg. Did you see it go? Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. What about you, sir?
Probably better than you because it's my afternoon and your early morning.
Yeah, it's early morning, like 3:30 here, but that's fine because it's Gregory Wilson here. I'm happy with it.
Haha.
Yeah, so before we start the interview session, I just want to mention 2 to 3 things. First thing is that I know people, magicians like you are super busy with your new projects and shows and all, but just because what's happening around the world right now, we all are sitting at home and doing online shows.
Wait, what's happening?
What happened?
Around the world happening?
Yeah, pandemic, COVID.
I've been in my warehouse for a long time. What's going on? I haven't been outside.
Oh, no, just by seeing your reaction, I thought that my internet got froze or something.
I just haven't been paying attention to the news. It's something, it's July. I don't.
Yeah, so yeah.
By the way, first, how do you pronounce your name?
Bharath. Bharath.
One more time, Bharath.
Bharath.
Okay, Bob. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Greg. Same to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be having a hard time pronouncing my name more than magic, Yeah, so anyway, so just because we are all at home and you have some free time, even though you will be working on new projects, but it's really a great thing that you are giving some time for the magic community, like this kind of sessions and all. And the second thing I want to mention is that a huge thanks to Chris Oberle. Hi, Chris, if you are watching this, special thanks to you. Because actually, when I had interview with Chris, he was so friendly with me. And just after the interview, he asked me, like, hey, Bharath, you want any magicians for your interview? And I only asked him because I know he have a lot of contacts. I just asked him only this. Do you have a good connection with Gregory Wilson? He said, yeah, yes, I do. Then he said, okay, I will give you his mail. You can mail him. Because I
Wait a minute. Wait, sorry. Does Chris Oberle pretend to know me?
Yes.
Does he mention my name? I've never met him before in my life. He tells everybody that he knows me. I don't know why he keeps doing this. Sometimes he calls and he hangs up and he giggles like a little girl. And he's a strange guy. I don't understand why he plays these silly games.
Yeah. No.
Just kidding, Chris. Just kidding, Chris. Love you, man.
Yeah, so special thanks to him, for connecting with me. Yeah. And the third thing I want to say is that my teacher, his name is Rajamurthy here in India, and he's your huge fan. So I just want to mention that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to mention that. So that's it. So with that said, let's start the session. Are you ready?
Delighted.
Yeah. Okay. So magic. For magic is like different kind of emotion to every single magician in the world. And especially for creative genius people, creative genius magicians, they will have different thoughts about magic, right? Because for me, magic is kind of a different emotion. For other people, for other magicians, it will be a different thought about magic. So what is magic to you?
I think the real magic for me is how you can evoke or emit a reaction from a spectator beyond just wow, beyond just astonishment. I want to make them think. So to me, it's like a miniature TED Talk. If you see TED Talks on YouTube, they're very long, but and protracted. But if you take the presentation down to its irreducible minimum, as brief as you can get, you want to invoke thought. You want to inspire thought. You want them to think about what you're going to do before you do it. For example, I've got a trick where you take a $1 bill. I don't have it here. You take a $1 bill. Well, pretend I got a $1 bill. And I say, I'm going to show you how I travel the entire world with just $1. That grabs their attention. That sustains their interest. Then every time you fold it, it's a different country. And when you come home, you make more money than how you started. So you start with a $1 bill, you end up with a $100 bill, and it's just believable enough because it's not magic pattern. It's not, hey, boys and girls, let's pay attention and let's do magic. Grown adults don't think this way. You want to be the coolest guy in the room. And if you go to YouTube, I think the kids are calling it the YouTube. Go to the Google machine. You kids today with all your blue teeth. I'm not up on this latest technology. Point being, look at the world's most interesting man. Have you seen those commercials? It's a TV commercial for a beer, for Dos Equis beer. Go look this up later. The world's most interesting man. There's about 100 different TV commercials, and the guy's cool. He's sophisticated. He's the most interesting man in the world. We should at least be the most interesting person in the room. And you're not going to do that if you have magic pattern. If you wave and you snap and you blow, you're not the world's most interesting man. So when I turn the bill into a $100 bill, I'm not blowing. I'm not snapping. I'm not waving because everybody knows that's not really how it works. The snap doesn't make it happen. So be interesting. Say something interesting, if not fascinating, to grab people's attention. That to me is the real magic. If you could get them to buy into your presentation as being real. And the magic is just an afterthought to the point you're trying to convey.
Oh, that's great. And the one thing which I want to mention is that I'm not trying to over exaggerate or over boost you because I don't want to do that. But because the magicians
No,
know
that's
who you
okay.
are.
Try it a little.
Yeah, the magicians know who you are. I don't want to overboost you, but trust me, brother. I mean, I used to get goosebumps when you say certain dialogues. There is a moment it's all the natural action of closing the box and putting it away, and you are done. The question is, what could be more natural? And some of your dialogues, like when you do something, come on, and did you see it go? Did you see it happen? None of the whole tag. I mean, this kind of things, I don't know.
Wait a minute. This tells me you pay very close attention because every one of those are very specific and I know which tricks they were.
Exactly. I mean, I will tell you the reason why. The reason why is that, I mean, I got into magic because of David Blaine. But listen, I need to complete it fully. I mean, David Blaine inspired me to learn magic. But when I learned magic and I started performing it, I don't used to get crazy reactions like David Blaine used to get. I mean, when I do card trick, people are like, oh, that's good. I mean, yeah. But then I used to watch you. That's why when Chris told me, do you want any magician for the interview? I know he know many magicians, but I said I only want Gregory Wilson because I'm your big fan. And the thing is that I used to watch your performance, and the way you perform is the reason why you get such crazy reaction because the way you perform is like that. And because I don't know the formula you use, but I kind of get inspired from your performance and the technique. What I'm using it right now in my performance is that first I go through the process of doing the effect, and then before the revelation, I try and take the advantage of the offbeat, and then I give a pause, and then I recall what just happened, and then later when the revelation part happens, I don't get excited. When the revelation part happens, I let's look at the people like that, and they're looking at me like, is this real? I mean, they just go crazy. So, and then later when I used to follow that kind of thing, I used to get such crazy reactions. And you know what? You are the inspiration for me in that thing because I think you inspired me a lot in my performance in Magic. And if anything got better in my performance, it's just because of you. So I want to know who is your inspiration in this kind of unique style, because the way you perform Magic is not, it's unique. I mean, you don't try to overprove something. You are more of like an entertainer, and you know the way you perform is kind of like unique because I don't many magicians have their own style, but yours is actually very unique. So who was your inspiration in this kind of performance, or you just came up with this?
Before I answer that, let me explain something. I think your reactions are more genuine and sincere than my reactions because I have to pay people to react on the video. I just, before the show starts, I said, just be a good actor and pretend that I'm better than I am. And I make
No,
it rain. I make it
that's not the
rain.
Gregory Wilson I know.
Well, I'm finally revealing and exposing myself for the first time. So if you're getting these reactions without paying them, I want to know how you're doing it.
Then I can make the thumbnail like Gregory Wilson cheating exposed. He's paying.
Gregory
So just
Wilson
yeah.
exposed. Again.
Yeah, so I would like to know who is your inspiration in this kind of presentation.
I wouldn't say anybody because I don't want to copy anybody. I don't want to parrot their style. I think it's so much easier to be yourself because God made you unique. You have your own fingerprint. You have your own signature. You have your own style. That's why it's so much easier to find your style from the printed page from a book or a magazine as opposed to a video. Even though I sell videos, even though I put out a number of videos, you're almost always going to copy the person to whom you saw do it the first time, unless you have an already established performance persona. So I highly recommend books because there's more explanatory power in a book. If I write up a trick, I'm going to put more time and energy and detail in the printed page than I would on a video. So I highly recommend books. I can't express that enough because then you become yourself. And I'll give you a perfect example. Paul Harris. I read and devoured Paul Harris's books when I finally saw him perform in 1984 at a place called Magic Island. I won't say I was disappointed. I was surprised that he wasn't performing the way I created in my head. So I created in my head the way I would perform it or the way I did perform it. So he deviated away from the script that I had in my head.
Oh.
Because I never saw him perform on video.
Okay, yeah.
So I developed my style long before I saw how you're supposed to perform. There is no supposed to. You do it the way that suits you. David Blaine, it works for him. It doesn't work for other people because he's this half-lidded, quaalude kicked in, kind of laconic character. His voice doesn't rise. My voice has projection to it.
Yeah.
His voice goes down. My voice goes up. And his style doesn't work for my style doesn't work for him, and his style doesn't work for me. You got to find what works best for you, and then it comes across as a true and authentic presentation. And because we're presenting deception, our actions are already deceptive. Why would you make the presentation also deceptive? Now it's a double deception, and it won't ring as true or real or authentic to the audience if both things are deceptive.
Okay, yeah, I understood. Yeah, so talking about Paul Harris, I just want to ask a question regarding the Paul Harris Art of Astonishment Volume 1. I have heard from magicians, and I also read on Wikipedia that you are one of the subject in a chapter in Paul Harris Art of Astonishment Volume 1. Like, how did that happen?
It was 1995, and that's all I remember. I don't remember how it happened. I think he told me a book was coming out and he wanted a contribution. So he called me and I said, I'd be delighted to give you something. And I think it was a trick called recap, a trick with a pen.
Pen, yeah.
And I said, I got another trick you might like. And it was called License to Thrill. And the reason I wanted to give him that one, because he inspired me to create my version of a trick that he put out called License to Kill, I think.
Okay.
So he had a trick where he did a switch that I didn't love. but it was a transposition of a driver license, his driver license with the spectator's driver license, and I just updated it for me. I just made it more for me, and I made it a bigger, more grandiose performance piece. So because he inspired it, I thought it would have been a perfect venue to finally put mine out. And then from there, he says, "What else you got?" Well, I got this. What else you got? I got this. He says, "You know, you give me one trick, that's good. You give me two tricks, that's better. You give me like 6 or 7 tricks, I'll give you a whole chapter." I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Listen, how about if I write something about you? You know, how you've inspired me and influenced me over the years?" He goes, "I could use that." So I wrote that, and it was fun.
Okay.
I was flattered, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's great. And I also like heard that. No, I know. Like I have read on like internet also. Like you won Fism 2 times, right?
No, I consider myself a Fism winner, but I didn't win it. I got second place and third place, second and third. And to an American, that's not good enough.
But still, it's a great thing, right? I mean, it's one of the prestige thing you can cherish in your life, right?
Second place to an American is a first place loser.
Seriously? But yeah, anyway, like tell me
I'm
your
grateful.
experience.
I'm grateful and I'm appreciative, but it kind of hurts. No, it doesn't
I know
hurt.
that how it feels because
I'm
oh
over
yeah.
it. I'm over it. I'm over it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, so like how was the experience like going to Fism and competing with other magicians?
It was just another performance. Honestly, it wasn't a big deal. That's why I think I'm never nervous. I've never been nervous performing because it's just another performance.
So you didn't create a unique act for Fism?
Oh, I did. I had a series of tricks that I'd been doing for 20 years before that, but
Uh-huh.
I put it together and compiled it in a certain arrangement just for Fism.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, so like we have like a few questions from magicians because I have put a post yesterday as an announcement that I'll be doing a session with Gregory Wilson, and few magicians actually sent me some list of questions, and I have selected 2 to 3 questions from that. Okay, to ask you.
Sure.
Yeah, but before that, like we would like to watch one of your performance right now. Then we will go to the next questions.
Oh, you want to see a performance?
Yeah, one effect. Yeah, it will be good, no, for viewers
This is
also.
this is this is the part where I pretend I don't have anything. How's my acting? Let me think. Pointing up, pointing down. Look
Okay.
close. Up, down, and now pointless.
What?
You have to know where to look. Have you not seen this before? So if you were here, you would feel both ends, so you know it's normal, right? I say,
Yeah.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Here we go. I'll give you a chance to get your money back.
Okay.
You're only down $20. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Double or nothing. Just like this. Which way is it pointing?
The cap side.
This way?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what most people say. Don't feel bad. You're only off by one side. It was 50-50. I'll do it again like this. Very slowly. Not that fast hand stuff, right? Which way is it pointing?
The one with the hand you're holding.
I didn't hear it. Say that again. Which way?
The
Oh,
one
you
with
saw
the
me
hand
do
you're
the.
holding.
You saw me.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to help. What are you doing? I was trying to expose to let you. You're making this way too difficult. I don't know why. Look, if I do it like this, if you were here, you would hold it for me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So pretend you're holding it here. You got a good grip right there in the middle, right? And I
Okay.
cover it like this, nice and slow. Don't look away. Don't look away. You'll say up and then it's down, and everything's completely examinable.
Wow. You know what? You know, I should say this. You know, watching you perform magic is itself an art. Seriously, because
It's what? It's what?
watching you perform magic is itself an art. You know, it's like the
Wait, I'm not
charisma you
hearing
have.
that. I'm not hearing that. It's what?
It's an art.
Oh, an art. I'm so sorry. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, seeing you perform the stuff that you have came up with is watching itself is an art. I mean, it's the grace, that charisma. Even though, even though we magicians know it's your release, it's I believe it's called pointless, right?
I don't understand. It's just a pen. There's nothing to release.
Yeah. I mean, like I was just saying, even though it's your release, but still watching you perform is like we don't think anything. I mean, still it feels like being fooled by you. That's what I was saying.
You know what? I like doing it with one hand. I tell them I'm going to put the cap on the other end. I'm going to put the cap over there. If I do it right, you won't see it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
And again, with one hand. Watch close. Ah, had the lights in my eyes. The sun is in my eyes. Oh, I got to close the door. There's a lot of wind. I'll try it again. Watch. I really do have the bright lights here, but watch close. The cap is going to go on the pointed end. Watch. Do it one more time. Shoot. Let me get this on loose. Here we go.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
I still can't see, so I got lucky. Do it again. Watch. You want to see how I brush my hair in the morning?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Crazy.
That's the
Crazy.
way it's supposed to look.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I did this trick for a famous actor.
Hmm.
And I looked away, and when I looked back, he had ink all over his face, all over his hands, because when I turned away, he wanted to see if it was a special pen, and he took it apart using his mouth. He went like this, and the ink came out all the way down his mouth. So, two things. Number one, he realized it was a normal pen. There were no gimmicks, nothing to find. And the second thing is probably the most important thing. He will never forget me.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons, but he'll never forget me.
Yeah. And like one thing which magicians who are watching this interview should learn is that even though magicians used to ask you, right, what do you do if something goes wrong? And see, they had to learn from you because you are taking it easy. Like you are not seeing it as a mistake. You're like, oh yeah, we have to do it again. It don't happen always at the first time. You are taking it so easy, so relaxed. So it is one of the things that magicians should learn from you. So yeah, with that said, let's go to the
If you see that it looks easy and effortless now, you're not seeing all the mistakes I made to get there. Which is why I tell magicians, perform. First practice, but don't just do practice, and then perform. Practice, perform. Because here's the page and here's the stage. The stage can be stand up, it can be close up, but you got to keep performing for real people because you're going to be bad. So I say, hurry up and be bad and get it out of the way. Because you're going to be bad, you're going to make mistakes, so hurry up and do it. And it's kind of like a duck. A duck above the water looks smooth and effortless, but underneath, they're paddling like crazy, but they should never see the paddling. They only see above the surface. So you're going to eventually make mistakes. How do you get out of it? It's good to make mistakes. Just make mistakes in front of strangers and less in front of paid clients.
That's actually true. Completely agree to it because we don't learn anything from success always. If everything is going right always, we don't learn anything from that. So like if a guy like they did it like 10 to 20 times an effect and he say, yeah, I got it every time correct. And what will he do if something goes wrong? Then only he will get to know an idea about how to overcome it. Like so it's not bad. I mean it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that challenges used to come. I mean we can overcome it, right?
And if you're improvisationally fast, they won't know a mistake was made anyway.
Yeah.
Because they don't know the destination like the performer does. They don't know where you're going, and you do. So, and then you make it part of the trick. Sometimes it's okay to make a mistake.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we can learn many things from our mistakes as well. So, with that said, let's go to the next question. So, the guy called Asif from Kerala asked me that what's your view on theatrical close-up magic and impromptu close-up?
Theatrical what?
Theatrical close-up and impromptu close-up, like a street performance. The differentiation, he's asking about your views on this.
The difference between theatrical close-up and
Not just
impromptu?
not just difference. He's asking like what's Greg views on theatrical close-up magic and impromptu or street magic, like impromptu magic or street kind of performance.
I don't think I haven't thought about it before, but I don't think there's a distinction between the two.
I think what he meant is that we do some kind of close-up effects on the like walk-around situations on street performance, and we do the same thing sometimes on like for example, let's say we do the cube routine on street performance and walk-around routines, and we do the same thing on stage, right? But there will be a difference in the presentation aspect. I think that's what he meant, I believe.
The only difference is if I do it stand-up versus close-up is I make it a little bit more, I just make it larger. I make it bigger than life, and I involve more people, and I speak to the last row. You never want to speak to just the front row because the people in the back row feel like they're being dismissed or disregarded. So you want to speak to everybody, and the people in the front row who have the best seats are automatically included anyway, unless you need somebody to mix it up. And I rarely have someone in the first row mix it up. No, that's not true. No, yeah. So I have the guy in the front row mix it up, but I speak to everybody else. It's the same presentation, it's the same words, it's the same expression. It just plays a little bit bigger, that's all. You know who's brilliant at making a trick play bigger than life? Harry Anderson.
Okay. And what would you think like that?
He's brilliant because he chose effects or created effects that play big. So a stand-up comedian, when he's talking on a microphone, his words fill the entire room. When a magician performs and it's small, it shrinks the room. So he's performing like this, his shoulders are hunched, and it's smaller here. He had tricks that played bigger than life, like his needle through arm. If you see this, go look at this on, what are the kids calling it? The YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You better hurry up because I think the internet is a fad. I think it's only going to last another 6 months, the whole internet. It's not going to last long. So hurry up, do your research now. And look for Harry Anderson's needle through arm and see how a little needle, a thin needle like this, can play to a room, to a 1,500 seat theater, and play huge and get big laughs and big reactions. And almost anything he did, where he dropped his pants, or as you say, trousers, I guess, and he exposed the gimmick, the grappler gimmick, which was a false explanation of how a trick was done. It plays huge that he dropped his trousers. And he's exposing this gimmick, again, a false explanation, but that plays huge. So I think that's the biggest difference between stage and close-up. Make a play larger than life.
Yeah, when you are saying something like, when you're giving so much importance and stress to something like this, I can really know that it is so much an important thing and it's really precious to watch. I mean, it's Gregory Wilson who is saying this. So yeah, one more question from this guy is that what made Greg pursue James Bond instead?
Oh, that's funny. Because I live in a world of delusion. Because I've just always thought to myself how to think cool. Whether I'm cool or not is a whole different story. But if you think cool, the audience will perceive you as more than just a magician. And a lot of times people have a preconceived notion of what a magician is. And a lot of times it's a birthday party clown. I'm not that type of magician, don't want to be that type of magician. So that's why I don't do silly things and use what I call fantasy patter. Like, here's fantasy patter. Fantasy patter is look, here's a coin, here's a bank. If I put the coin in the bank, are you joking? That's not a bank, that's your hand. If I deposit the coin in the bank, please. That's fantasy patter. I saw a magician one time in a magic convention said, Greg, can I show you something? Look, my elbow, I got a zipper in my elbow, and I unzip it, and look, I was polite, I was nice, I didn't criticize him, but inside I rolled my eyes. The magicians still don't get it. You want to be the coolest guy in the room, not the guy where grown adults go. So with James Bond, he's the coolest guy on the planet. So think James Bond. Plus, everything we do is very similar to a secret agent. We both live in a world of deception. We both manipulate reality. We both think that magic helps to get the women and secret agents help to get the women. But that's the part where we manipulate reality. That was supposed to be.
So basically, we just have to be natural and like do what you mean to say, right? Basically,
Yeah.
And also like we don't have to specifically mention the thing. So look, watch my hand, or like they know, people know it's the hand, people know it's the coin. So we just have to be natural, right?
This is what I call narration pattern. You don't have to narrate it like you're a basketball or a hockey commentator. I can see it. It's not magic for the blind. It's not magic on the radio. I can see what you're doing. So an example of doing something bad is this. Here's an example. Look, I have a deck of cards. Like you said already, duh. Do you know the expression duh?
Yeah.
Duh. Of course it's deck of. So look, I'm going to spread them out. You don't have to say you're going to spread them out. I can see it. I'm going to spread them out. You're going to take one. I'm going to take it back from you. I want you to look at it. You memorize it. I'm going to put the part in the deck. You don't have to tell them, look, it's the king of clubs. It's obvious. You don't have to tell them you're putting it in the deck. You don't have to say I'm pushing it in. You don't have to wave and snap and blink and say now it's on the top. You don't have to do that. It's automatically. They can see it already. You can say, look, I'm going to put the card in a position where I can't control it, but it doesn't last for long. That's a better way to say it. I never said what I did. That's important. I never once said what I did if you do it the right way.
Yeah. And like, trust me, when you do card stunts like this, I mean, one of the coolest dialogue which I love so much, every time when I watch those things, I feels like it's new. I mean, you're like, watch this. Did you see it go? Did you see it? No, the whole deck. Did you see it happen? Like, and you're like watching other people like this, and everybody's going crazy. So that frame, that moment, I love it,
I have to laugh about that because this one girl I know, that's her favorite trick. Where the whole deck goes to the box, and she doesn't call it by its traditional name. She doesn't know what the name of the trick is, so she calls it, "Did you see it go?" She goes, "Oh, do that for my friends. Did you see it go?" Which one? Yeah, did you see it go? You got to do the "Did you see it go?" Come on, Greg. Did you see it go? Do the "Did you see it go?" It's great. That's all she knows about it. So to hear you say it brings up that memory. It's funny.
Yeah, and also the way you talk, the way you engage the audience by talking, that's just brilliant. So, one more question.
Oh, by the way, very important. You made me think of something. My patter, I'd like to think, is so natural and so spontaneous, it doesn't feel like patter.
Spot on.
That's the most important thing. And your presentation should be just as deceptive as your magic. They shouldn't feel like you've said it before. They shouldn't feel like it's a script. They should feel like everything is just a natural, spontaneous outflow, which is why I don't have perfectly constructed syntax. Syntax is the interrelationship and arrangement of words that sound scripted. That's why I speak in what I'm doing now.
The
Those
most
are
captivating
stutter.
process.
Yeah, they're stutter steps. So if I were to take and let's come over, like, so if I, what did I say?
Yeah.
But it's enough to engage them and make them reach. So they're going to withdraw or reach. If I say something interesting or fascinating, they reach. If I say, want to see a trick, want to see a trick, want to see a trick, they're going to withdraw. So you want to be cool. If you're cool and detached and reserved, they'll come to you. If you're too pushy and too needy for attention and approval, like most magicians, because a lot of magicians are, uh, how can I put it? I don't want to, how would I say it nicely? A lot of magicians are antisocial
Okay.
misfits. They're trying to bolster some inadequacy that they have in them by doing magic. Magic, once you get good at it, you are intrinsically and automatically the coolest person in the room. So you don't have to try too hard. Stop reaching, slow down, and let the audience do the reaching for you.
Yeah, so basically, in simple words, we don't have to overprove that we just have got skills. We just have to perform what we know, right?
Yeah, and don't try too hard. That's one of the best things about David Blaine. He has a bare bones presentational style. Some people would say it's non existent. Even non existence is the style.
Yeah,
Letting the trick speak for itself is the style. He's
because
very good at choosing the right effect that fits him. There's 10,000 tricks out there. Why are we all doing the same, or why are we doing tricks that don't fit our own performance style or persona? Choose the tricks that fit you.
I think that's
Like
one of
everybody should be doing this.
yeah. I mean that I think this is one of the challenging thing for a magician. I believe because we learn so many things, we research a lot, we buy many products, and like monthly or weekly, new releases are coming on the magic market, and we don't do the tricks that we buy. We buy many things, but we don't always perform those. But I think for a magician, the hardest thing is, or the challenging part is, choosing the right 10 to 20 effects, which are very close to their heart, and which should suit their personalities. So I think selecting the 10 to 20 effects from the thousands of tricks that we learned is the hardest thing. And if we can accomplish that, we are done. Like the game is over. Boom.
In the beginning, you have to do hundreds of tricks to find out what you like and more importantly what you don't like. But it should be like a funnel. Here's the funnel and here's the drain. So you got all this body of material, and what comes out here is the years of experience of what you'll do and what you won't do. Now that you know what you're looking for, you don't buy all the extra stuff. You don't have a giant, deep magic drawer of things that you just throw away quickly because you know after you perform it, you know it doesn't work for you. You should know before you do it if it works for you.
Just one question from a magician called Pranav, and I will ask that, and we can go to one of your effects as well after that. So he asked me that how Greg make a living just by creating magic, and how to put out our first effect on the market. That's what he asked.
Well, 25% of my living is only by the stuff behind me. 75% is performing. So I perform more than I produce.
Oh, so let me ask you one thing from what you said. So just my question: what do you love doing it? Creating magic or performing magic?
Both equally. Because I perform what I create. And I don't like the word create. God is a creator. We discover. You know, to make a flower from nothing, that's creation. The best we can do is take the seed of the flower, plant it, and then it grows. So we're not creating. Very important. We're not creating, we're discovering. So it's out there. It's in the ether. It's up there. We just have to slow our mind down and look. This is why I say, look, every magician has the opportunity to do the same thing. People say, how do you create? Well, you play the what if game. What if I did this? What if I do that? We all have 52 cards, 2 hands, 10 fingers. That's why there's so much independent conception and overlap. Some guy in India and some guy in Canada could have thought of the same thing, because we're just discovering a thing that's already there.
Amazing. I mean, I had never heard this thing from any magician. I mean, they always talk about, yeah, I create this, I come up with this. And you only said me about this discovering thing. And I believe it's all about like creating problems, and you have to solve that problem by discovering the methods, right?
But we're not even creating the problem. The problem already exists.
Yeah,
But
just thinking of
we are just articulating the problem in a way that allows us to come to a more harmonious solution. It already is there. Before the foundations of the world, that problem already existed. We're just discovering and articulating it, and then we're also discovering the solution. Pure discovery. I think it's very arrogant and haughty to think that we can create, because create means from nothingness. Ex nihilo, in Latin, ex nihilo. We don't create something from nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Because like that's what I said. Because I had never heard this thing from any magician. So you are the first. Like I heard this from you only just now. So yeah.
But to understand that foundational bit of business or knowledge means that now you have the confidence to go out and start discovering. Because I think it's overwhelming if you think, oh, if I want to be original, I got to create something. Well, create? Who's going to create? I can't create. You discover. And now it's an amalgamation sometimes of ideas. You take a little here and a little there and a little there, and you put it together. So it could be an amalgamation of all original thoughts, or it can be inspired by this guy and that guy, and you put it together. So sometimes it's the way. For example, I have a trick called Hundy 500, where you turn 5 $1 bills into 5 $100 bills. It's not my idea. It's Patrick Page. In 1958, Patrick Page created that, put it out in 1959 called Easy Money. In 1963, Fred Capps borrowed the idea without permission from Pat Page, and Pat wasn't very happy about that, and he called it Flash Cash. He created a different method and called it his own. It was a better name, and he was more well-known, and everybody thought it was Fred Capps' trick, and Patrick was very upset about that until I finally put out my trick and gave him credit for the first time. I asked for permission, which I always do, and I give credit, which I always do, because the crediting history is so important. It's sacrosanct. So Pat was delighted for the first time in 30, 40 years. But Pat did it as paper to bills, or magazine strips to bills, or newspaper strips to bills. As far as I know, I'm not sure, I think I was the first one to do bills to bills, $1 bills to $100 bills. I'm sure I wasn't the first to discover it, but I'm the first that I know. I'm sure that there was a number of people before me.
And but you're the first person to credit it, right? Credit it properly.
I credited as many people that I know. And now somebody else came out with probably a better method, which is Richard Sanders' Extreme Burn, which to me was an extreme burn because he took all my sales. But I still prefer my way because it's a 1-2 punch. It's boom, the outside, you see your hundreds, wait, pause, then count them, and they're all hundreds. So you get 2 distinct phases. But his looks way better on video. It's very, very visual. So the point is, you can take what already exists and make it better, take what already exists and make it fit you.
Make it better and like fit into our routine, right?
It might not be better, but you put your signature on it because it fits you.
Yeah, that's for lay people. They don't know which method we are using it. I mean, we just have to give importance to the effect which we like. I mean, there are many methods for the same effect, right? And people are more concerned. Magicians are more concerned about knowing each and every method. But I believe that it's not just about that. Okay, for our knowledge, we have to understand the methods to increase our knowledge, to expand our creativity. But I believe if you are comfortable with the method, I think go with that. I mean, that's better.
Well put. You've been thinking about these things. You're very knowledgeable. You're naturally curious, which is going to drive you naturally to get better and better, which makes me wonder how long you've been doing this. I'd say 12 years for you.
Exactly. But can you guess how old I am?
Wait, how many years have you been doing magic?
If let's say professionally, like doing stage shows and all for the last 6-7 years, but I started like before 12 years. Yeah, that you are correct.
Was it
Before,
12 years?
yeah, like before 12 years I started.
Wait,
Like,
pause. Feeling of being correct. Okay, go ahead.
but do you have any idea how old I am?
Well, we have the same hairline. So let's see. You're probably my age. 34?
Is this a joke or serious?
No, you're 28.
I just turned 20 last month.
28.
20, 20.
20?
Yeah, 20.
You know why I said in the 30s? Because I thought I knew you were younger, but I thought you were hiding the fact that you're older.
Yeah, by looks, right?
But the first joke about 34 was I was trying to compliment myself. That
Yeah, I understand.
I'm 58. So I wanted to make the joke that we're both 34.
Yeah, so basically, last month, June 29th, I just turned 20. So I started magic at 7 years old.
20 years old. I started magic at 17.
Uh-huh.
So you've got a huge kickstart or jump start.
Yeah, because I didn't mention
And
my age in the beginning because I just, maybe you won't do that, but maybe if I say my age in the beginning, maybe there are chances that whoever I'm featuring, they might be thinking to criticize me. I mean, that's why I didn't mention my age.
I would have criticized you. I probably wouldn't have done the interview if I knew you were 20. No, I wouldn't be here. In fact, I think I have to go now that I know you're 20.
Yeah, I know you.
No,
I know you.
I'm very impressed with your knowledge, your experience, and I think a lot of it comes from the internet. There's a growth explosion. People learn so much faster and so much deeper from this wide body of knowledge that we didn't have when I started in the 70s.
Yeah, I can know that, sir. But one thing I want to mention is that when I used to get crazy reactions, if I mean, okay, like even no reaction is also a reaction because different people are like different. They have different kind of emotions towards what they see. But for magicians, crazy reactions, we know what it means. So if I start getting crazy reactions, the main reason is just you, because your performance taught me when I should give pause, when I should take advantage of offbeat, the kind of dialogue delivery, where should I give stress and also I learned that from you only. So you're my inspiration,
From from a DVD?
Yeah, I used to watch Penguin lecture at the table lecture, and there is a DVD called On the Spot, right?
Mm.
In that you teach impromptu stuffs and all. There's a coin routine.
You
Sorry.
know, there are good lessons in that coin routine. I call it the open palm coins across because everything's open, right? There are a lot of lessons in there about how to pause, how to reflect, and how to extract as much reaction as possible. And it's a build.
May I sorry for disturbing it. Just now I got a message from Chris that how is the interview going. So I just want to say to
Oh,
you
is
that.
this live right now?
No. He just messaged me on Messenger because I said to him about the time.
Chris Oberly?
Yeah.
Text him right now and say, Greg is very upset that you keep pretending to know.
I will actually. Yeah, wait.
I have his number only because I want him to stop bothering me. Call Chris Oberly.
Calling Chris
Should I call him now? Are you calling me?
Dude, you got to pretend. Listen. If you're that same guy who keeps bothering me, pretending to know me, especially while I'm doing a Skype interview, dude, you got to back off, or I'm gonna get. Don't make me get a restraining order.
All right. I'll have to go through that again.
Listen, how many times we have to go over this?
Well,
You can't just laugh it off like you've done all the other times. Seriously, I'm gonna call the cops again.
how did it go?
Oh, dude, we're not just gonna have a straight conversation again like last time. Just no, I'm doing it right now. You're on the air. You're live. How may I help you?
Yeah, I mean, say my thanks to him as well.
He said thank you. He enjoys you. He said your interview was much better than my interview. It was obvious, he said. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at 10, and I'm about a 3.5, he said. But they can't all be winners. All right, let's catch up later, dude.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, ciao.
All right, bye.
That
Could
was
you
fun.
hear him? Could you hear him?
Yeah, I could hear it. What is it?
Oh, okay. That's funny. All right. You want to do one
Yeah.
more trick and then we finish?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hold on. Can you even see right here?
Yeah, I can see.
So I do this to begin with. Have you seen this
Yeah.
before? Have you seen this? If I take
I don't
nothing,
want to like say, you just perform it.
just like this.
Wow.
So it's how you get something for nothing, right? And if you
Yeah.
squeeze like this, and the beauty is you don't go near your pockets, you don't go near your sleeves, and you can get coins over and over and over and over again. And the secret, of course, is here. If you're looking at the 2, you're not looking at the 1. That's how it works. It's because it's shiny. See, if I hear you're looking here, that's so shiny, you're not looking over there. And every time I do this, you look at where it shines and not where it doesn't shine.
Whoa, wait. Eh?
Eh?
That's good.
You not see? Look. You take nothing, squeeze nothing, you get something for nothing.
Okay.
You follow me, right? So I just do this, and I don't go near my sleeves. You don't go near your sleeves. You don't go near your pockets. And the secret is you're going to look at these because there's 2. You're not going to look here. So it's a lesson in misdirection, right? You're looking at the 2. You're not looking at the 1. And of course, if you're looking here, you're not looking there. That's why it works. And again, I call it shiny object. Look, I call it shiny object syndrome. You're looking at where it shines, not
Wow.
where it doesn't shine.
I
The
mean,
secret
man,
is,
like,
see, the secret's the chair. I needed the chair. If you replay it, you'll see how I use the stool, the chair.
now I hate you. I used to love you. Now I hate you.
We're even, because I hate you and your hair.
No, like, because, like, even though we know how the method is, still it fooled me. That's a bad thing. That's why I hate you. Because that clean, super clean. I mean, that's why. Yeah, I know. That's why you are like a legend in what you do.
I don't think it fooled you. I think it might have surprised you because the moves are very natural. The offbeat is below the threshold of people's awareness. They're not thinking about beats, they're feeling the beat. And when you feel the beat, as opposed to thinking about the beat, that's why it works.
And you are the crazy, freaky guy in ditching things. I mean, I don't know how perfectly you're doing this kind of stuff. I mean, it's so clean. I mean, so natural. Like the way you ditch things. Wow.
And the best part is, you and your audience can do the same thing if you go to thesecretsource.com.
Yeah, that was a nice way of promoting.
It's coming out with at Murphy's in about 2 weeks. So you can get it. Same thing. It's called Split Focus. So you can wait and get it at Murphy's for $200, or you can get it from me for $150. But when you wait with Murphy's, you're going to get more to the package. You're going to get better packaging. You're going to get extra props. But if you get it from me, you get the bare bones basics. You get the special coin and the ditching gimmick. But if you get it at Murphy's, you get a little bit more. So you got a choice.
Yeah, of course. I will let you know. But the thing is that, so basically you combine sleight of hand and the new special coins together, right?
It's actually very little sleight of hand. It's
Yeah.
mostly automatic and gimmicks, which, by the way, is what James Bond is about. Q is the one who makes James Bond's special gimmicks and gaffs and gizmos, but he's naturally a good fighter, naturally a good shooter. So he has the intrinsic skills, but he has a little bit extra. He has that little extra edge that Q gives him. That's what gimmicks are for magicians.
Yeah.
So you combine that with sleight of hand, it's unfair.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
Originally here, it's called off the cuff.
Uh-huh.
Now this here, you might not know about this. It's called a VHS.
VHS.
It's not a DVD. It's before DVDs. It's called a VHS.
Okay.
You might not have seen it before. You have to hold it up in the light and then you spin it really fast. So that's how it works. Now it's used as a doorstop.
These are kind of like beautiful memories, right? To cherish it.
These jokes are failing really hard. Oh, by the way, who's that guy?
Oh my God, don't tell me it's you. Don't tell me it's you. You changed a lot, man.
I used to like you. That's so funny. That's when I had that stuff on the top of my head.
Yeah.
You think that's
But
funny?
now
Look,
this suits you because for some, don't get me wrong, but in
a video on double lifts.
like how old you were at this time?
31.
31. Now you are 58, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get.
Just tell me I look better now, and you can redeem yourself.
Yeah, of course you look better now. The thing I'm gonna say is that you look better now because I don't like you with hair.
The girls too. The girls don't like hair. It's overrated.
Now you look super cool guy. I mean, that was like a nerd look, like a
the girl's fingers would get stuck in my hair. So now it's smoother now. It's a lot easier now. You want to see how I brush? You want to see how I brush my hair in the morning?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, and one more thing.
And when I get a haircut, they give me half off, 50%. Save a lot of money.
Yeah, and yeah, one thing I want to say, like this is not so important, but I just want to feel like to say, I think it's a performance in Magic Castle where you are doing a card routine, like card to pocket, okay, and there is a girl beside you, and you're like, okay, did you see it go? I mean, check my pocket, and when the girl put the hand inside your pocket, you're like, I love my job, like that thing, you don't.
I would never say something like that. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, but that's why, like, that kind of things are like, it's not important to you, but like I used to remember these kind of things,
Yeah, I'm surprised actually how remarkable your memory is for specific tricks.
Not, because I'm not giving importance to the effects you do. To be frank, don't get me wrong, I'm only giving importance to the presentation and performance. So basically, I like you so much, so I used to remember your dialogues and all. Naturally, I don't try to remember it. When I watch it, it just gets into my head and stays forever. Like that's how it is. Yeah. Do you know any Indian magicians?
One.
Yeah, may I know his name?
Yes, it's pronounced Bharath. Bharath.
Don't joke.
Yeah.
Seriously? Like I can't believe you. I mean seriously.
You're the only one.
I'm the only Indian magician you know. Come on.
Only you.
It's not completely digestible for me, but still, yeah, okay. That's happy to hear. Because you are that person who is very much, like to play with people, right?
No, you're the first. From now on, your name is Bob. It's easier for me.
Bharath.
Bob.
Bharath.
Bob.
Bharath.
Robert. Hey, listen, I got to go. This is a blast. I had a lot of fun. It was delightful to meet you. I would love to perform when the quarantine has flattened its curve. I'd love to find a way to either do a lecture tour in India or performances in
Sure.
India.
I will.
And I've been to 49 countries. That would make number 50. That would be a good 50th for me.
Yeah, that's great. So once again, Greg, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate the time you had taken for this interview. And it's my pleasure to have you. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Awesome.